Who's in your corner when life feels messy? In today's episode, we're exploring how to build your S.P.A.R.K team, those awesome people who inspire and energize you. And even if you feel like you're going it alone right now, this episode will show you how to spot S.P.A.R.K people, how to invite them into your life, and how you can be a S.P.A.R.K person too. So stay with me. It's going to be a good one. Hey there, Sunshine Catcher. Welcome back. I'm super happy that you're here and that we get to spend some time together today. I want to tell you about the kind of people who make life just a little brighter, sometimes a lot brighter. It's your personal pep squad, and I like to call them S.P.A.R.K people. Let me break down what makes someone a true S.P.A.R.K in your life. This is a person who embodies 5 special qualities. S is for supportive. They have your back, no questions asked. They're the ones who'll help you move on a rainy day or listen to you practice a presentation for the 10th time. And then there's P. P is for positive. Now, this doesn't mean they're unrealistically cheery all the time. It just means that they help you see the bright side, the possibilities, even when things are looking down. A is for affirming. S.P.A.R.K people remind you of your strengths and how far you've come. They're like mirrors reflecting back to you your best self when you've forgotten what it looks like. R is for reliable. So these are your go-to people, the ones you know will pick up the phone at any time if you need them. This is the person that you think of if you think about, if I had an emergency in the middle of the night, who would I call? It's that person who comes to your mind. K is for kind. They treat you with compassion, even when you're not at your best. They're gentle with your dreams. They're also gentle with your fears. And also, they're kind to all the other people around you, too. Like, you won't catch them gossiping or tearing others down. Now, first of all, I know there will be someone listening, and maybe even a lot of someone's, who feel like they don't have this in their life right now. And I want you to hang in here with me because I promise this episode isn't just for people who already have their pep squad assembled. Maybe you're thinking, that sounds really great, but I don't have anyone in my orbit like that. I get it. I really do. And that's exactly why this conversation is so important for you too. You know what's really cool about S.P.A.R.K people? They come in all sorts of unexpected forms. So they don't have to be people that you see every day or even people that you actually know. What? Yes, it might just be like an author whose books speak right to your heart every time you read them. Or, and I love this one, maybe it's a podcast host who feels like your virtual bestie even though you've never met in person. And sometimes your biggest S.P.A.R.K people might be like a parent or a grandparent who's no longer living, but you feel their love and wisdom lighting your path from the other side. You can feel their presence. Let me share a story about finding S.P.A.R.K people in unexpected places. So it might not be somebody who's a friend in your life right now at the moment. Think about S.P.A.R.K people who could be people in your neighborhood. There was this guy in my neighborhood growing up named Bert. And every Tuesday on garbage day, after the truck had picked up the trash, he would just quietly walk down one side of our street and up the other side, and he would put everybody's garbage cans away after collection. Now, everybody knew Bert. He was a really nice guy, so it wasn't like a creepy guy walking into your yard and pulling your garbage can up for you. We all knew him. And it was really windy, usually, where I lived growing up. And so, you just didn't want your garbage can knocked over laying in the middle of the street. So he took care of that for everyone. He never made a big deal about it. He just did it because that's who he was. He was a S.P.A.R.K in his own simple way, with just that simple act. But, look, here I am 50 years later remembering his kindness and even using his story as an example on a podcast that many people will hear. So, wow, his light lives on. Now that is a S.P.A.R.K person. So how do we find these amazing S.P.A.R.K people? Sometimes they're already right in front of you. You just need to pay more attention. Start becoming more aware of your energy levels after you interact, well, during and after you interact with different people in your life. Do you feel energized? Do you feel uplifted? Do you feel more like yourself, more like your true self? That's always a good sign. Or do you feel drained and doubting yourself or doubting the relationship? Spark people light you up. It's as simple as that. We all have people who are not sparks. They're a little more dim in our life, and that's where we get to learn compassion and patience. And when you have enough spark people, it kind of counterbalances that. So here's a little tip. Pay attention to all those small moments. The lady who walks her dog past your house every day, the person at your gym who cheered you on during a tough workout. These could be your future spark people. Stay open to these kind of connections. You can also be proactive in finding your spark people. Join a club or a group related to something you love. If you're a churchgoer, go with the intention of being a little boost for someone else. I mean, in addition to the intention of worshiping, but ask yourself, who can I give a kind word to today? If you're on the lookout for that, there is always someone you can give a kind word to. Volunteer for a cause you care about. Do some service. Put yourself in situations where you're likely to meet people with similar values. And I saw this happen with my own daughter. One of her bridesmaids at her wedding was someone she'd met in a yoga class only about a year before. She had plenty of bridesmaids, but these two hit it off, and this friend ended up in her wedding party. It just shows you that you never know when or where you'll find your spark people. Now, there's something really important that I've learned about spark people too that I want to share with you. They often come into our lives for different seasons, and that is perfectly okay. Just like we go through different chapters in our lives, our spark team shifts and changes too. Of course they do. So think about it. Maybe you had a friend who cheered you on when you wanted to take a training course, or that neighbor who showed up for you with her famous cookies and encouragement right when you needed it the most. Or maybe you had an amazing supervisor at your first job who really believed in you and helped launch your career. They were exactly the spark you needed in that season of your life. And while they might not be your everyday spark person anymore, their impact on your life is still so valuable. I remember when my kids were little, my spark team was mostly other moms who were sharing the same wild and fun season of life with me. And we'd trade babysitting, we'd load up the strollers and go for long walks. And we were just there for each other to say, hey, you're doing great, Mama, on those really tiring days. And now that my kids are grown, my spark team looks a lot different, but I'm still so grateful for those early mom years, those sparklers who helped me through that season. So if you notice some of your spark relationships shifting, don't feel guilty about it. Some spark people are meant to light up certain chapters of your story, while others stay to light the whole book. The key is in being grateful for each one and what they brought into your life. Here's another beautiful thing. Sometimes a spark relationship that felt like it had faded, those can reunite in a whole new way years later. It's not unusual to reconnect with an old friend. And while the relationship might be different now, that spark quality is still there, just in a different form. And, okay, here's the best thing. You can also be a spark person for others. In fact, often the best way to attract spark people is to be one yourself. So when you support, affirm, and kindle the light in others, you naturally draw similar energy to yourself. You know what I love about this? It's like a candle. A candle doesn't lose any of its flame by sharing its light with others. Here's your mission for this week. If you want a mission, no pressure. Might just be fun to identify a couple of spark people that are in your life. At least one. Let's say one. We'll make it easy. Identify one spark person in your life Maybe it's someone who's been there for years or someone you've just met that has that special energy. So reach out to them, tell them how much their support means to you. Trust me, acknowledging your spark people not only makes them feel great, but it amplifies that positive energy between you. And ask yourself, am I being a spark person? Am I a very good spark person? How can I be a spark person for someone else this week? Maybe it's sending an encouraging text to a friend who you think might be struggling, or being that person who notices when someone else needs a boost, or simply sharing a smile with somebody on the street. Ooh, maybe be careful about that one. But you never know how your small act of kindness might be the spark that lights up someone's entire day. Remember, we all have the power to be that spark of light in someone else's life. And when we kindle that light in others, our own world becomes brighter too. So cool how that works. So this week, think about gathering a spark team for yourself, and no one else needs to know about it. This is just for you. If you go with historical heroes that you really like and learn from their example, that's great. If you've got an author you follow that you like, that's great. Or a speaker. Like, it doesn't have to be, nobody else needs to know is what I'm saying. Just kind of write it in your journal and be grateful for those people in your life who are a spark, who are a light for you. And think about how you can continue to cultivate those type of relationships in your life. And until next time, keep your own spark shining. Have a great week.